Going back just to the BDS concept that we spoke about before, I wanted to know, have you been approached by the BDS before coming here?
They wouldn't dare.
You're blacklisted?
They wouldn't dare. They wouldn't dare approach me. They know better. They know better. I've been very, very vocal over the years of what my heritage is, where I come from, how much family I have in Israel, and how supportive I am of Israel. I think that they know that they'd be barking up the wrong tree. Don't get me wrong. I've had a few social media interactions and some emails here and there from some lovely people who decide that they think that a bunch of negative jargon can go ahead and shake me in any way, shape, or form, but it can't.
And did you get any approach by the infamous Roger Waters, who's been a very nice person towards us?
Why would he try to waste his time with someone he can't possibly convince?
He said it's to bark on the wrong tree. But
the man is so delusional. The man is so wrapped up in his own psychosis, in his own hatred, disguised as this quote-unquote BDS campaign. The man is a very sick man.
I don't even understand what happened to him, because he came and he performed here. Like he took people's money, he performed here. Then he started this whole campaign, but he did not go and perform on Gaza.
He performed there and he made up stories about it, incorrect stories. You know, I don't know if you've heard him try to go ahead and say how, you know, he was trying, during that one performance that you're referring to, he tried to address the Israeli crowd and ask for peace, and supposedly was met with like negativity and boos and whatever, and then they go ahead and they show the video from the actual performance so many years ago, and you know, the Israeli fans were cheering for peace. I mean, the guy's delusion is severe. This is a guy who just celebrated getting a gift of a guitar from Nicolas Maduro from Venezuela, for God's sake. One of the most brutal dictators in the world, who's been, you know, massacring his own people, starving his own people. This is the guy's hero. You know, he defends the most evil dictators in the world. He defends Maduro. He defends Putin. He defends anybody that, you know, can be viewed as socialist or communist. He'll even defend the Syrian regime and Assad, for God's sake. I don't know what he did, you know, drug-wise during his life, but whatever he did, it fried a bunch of brain cells. The guy's not operating on all cylinders anymore.
What do you think we, as people or country, need to do differently to stop this BDS nonsense and actions against Israel?
What can we do, maybe, as an American or somebody who's not living here most of the time?
Look at it from the side.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's anything that you can do, because even when Israel goes completely above board, even when, you know, there are no civilian casualties in defending ourselves, even when we do everything to the letter of international law and are 100% justified and 100% right, they still make shit up. They still go ahead and they grab images from other conflicts all over the world, from the Syrian conflict, from brutality and incidents of brutality that have occurred in Europe and in Russia and all over the planet, and they'll go ahead and put it in a tweet, and they'll label it Israeli, and they'll spread it as a lie that people are only too eager to digest. The people who want to hate will take any excuse to do it. This isn't rational thought. This isn't logic you're dealing with. You're not dealing with people who you can have a rational debate with and win. They're not looking for an answer. They're not looking to be proven wrong. They're looking to be proven right at all costs. And so it doesn't matter if there's something real or there isn't. It doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. At the end of the day, I remember what Golda Meir said. You know, I'd rather be alive and hated than to be loved and dead. It is what it is. I mean, we have to defend ourselves. We have to defend our people. There's no doubt for any rational person that Israel is surrounded by enemies who have sworn our complete, utter, and total annihilation and destruction. They don't want two states. They want one state, from the river to the sea, as they say time and time again. They're not looking for coexistence. They're looking to annihilate us out of existence. And the sooner the people realize what we as a nation and as a people are dealing with, if they even care to realize that, maybe things will change. It's going to take change. The only way that any of this is going to change, any of it, is if the societies that bring their children into the world, teaching them only hatred, whether it's Palestinian society, whether it's Qatari society, whether it's any society on the planet, if every single news station is full of anti-Semitic conspiracy theory, if every child's textbook, teaches them that Jews are dogs, if every single class and every single martyr is celebrated and sensationalized, and when you can make more money killing Jews than you can working an honorable job, the cycle of hatred and the cycle of violence will never end. As long as that status quo exists, it will continue to perpetuate generation after generation. It has to start with the new generation of children. So there has to be a change in education and in culture and in a change in demonization on some level. I personally, I'm very enthused that Israel has been able to establish greater economic ties with much of the Arab world, that over the course of the past decade, that it seems that perspectives are finally starting to change somewhat, even though there's still a tremendous underlying hatred and cultural anti-Semitism that goes throughout, that now has permeated Europe and is permeating the United States and has permeated the UK, and it is spreading, like I said, like a cancer. But I think that Israel being the startup nation that it is, Israel being the groundbreaking scientific machine that it is, and the breakthrough country that it is, it has so much to offer the countries that want to actually normalize relations, as far as economic benefits, as far as social benefits. And the sooner people start realizing that they have much more to gain from Israel being their friend and from demonizing them and making them their enemy, maybe things will start to shift.